Hi, it's Shirley. Shirley Jones. I'm presenting myself as a quantum therapeutics student practitioner who has just in the midst of her 6th week in the program. And I want to discuss with you my transformation from having been almost mute at the beginning of the program, where I had a limited ability to express myself in English and French. So I had a great deal of difficulty talking, and I know you're going to find that hard to believe when I tell you this story. I was sexually abused by my Aunt Sylvie Vezina when I was 9 years old, and she made me and my 3 sisters fondle her breasts and her vagina. And I carried such a load of shame and guilt and self-hatred and rage and anger and frustration and grief right up until this ball of toxic energy came out of my system yesterday under the guidance, care, and attention of my teacher, Cherie Doyen. It was done in a safe, rapid, effective, and completely and totally trustworthy methodology. This is so scientific. It is so womanly. It is so caring that I can feel in my system that there is no more negativity or toxicity about my relationship to women, which is absolutely wonderful. And I can never ever thank Cherie enough for holding my hand. So at this point, I'd like to explain to you what it's like to hold the hand of Shirley Jones. I'm just going to breathe into that because I really want to express myself properly to you. Cherie identified me as a very highly sensitive empath. And she's right. I can feel everything that's going on the planet with the people, the animals, the ecosystems, everything, all the problems, all the wars. I can also feel the good that's emanating around the world. And I really attempt to focus on that, but I'm so aware of the pain and suffering that's going on with the children of the world. And I propose to explain to you what I mean to be held by the hand of Cherie Doyen in this moment. I think that that's really important because I want to give a testimonial to a woman who is the level of a teacher, exactly like Anne Sullivan. Now, who was Anne Sullivan? Okay. She was the one who came to the home of Helen Keller when she was about 7 years old. Now, Helen had been born deaf, blind, and mute. She had very, very loving parents, but she was unable to express herself. She could not understand how to get her message out, so she acted out in unbelievable fits of rage and anger and frustration. And her parents had to deal with this child who had no means of communicating who she was being, right? And they didn't know what to do, except they prayed and prayed and prayed. And then they were able to interview and hire this woman, Anne Sullivan, who stayed at Helen Keller's side for many, many decades. And how she reached Helen. Helen was so angry that she refused categorically to have anything to do with Anne. She would go and hide herself. She would reject her. She would push her away. She just was too afraid of her. She was too afraid of her. She had no trust for her, right? So Anne was very, very patient and calm and loving, and her presence was such that eventually, after a period of time, Helen let her touch her fingertips. And gradually, over time, cup her hand, her sensitive little hand. And Anne began to trace in the palm of her hand the word water. And she ran water over Helen's hand, and she kept tracing and 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 tracing, ever so patiently, the word water in Helen's hand. And that's what it's been like, because Helen got it. That was her first word, was water. And when she got the word water, her entire being lit up. And her illness turned into brilliance. Helen became Helen Keller. I mean, please look her up. Take some time, take half an hour and go and read some of what she accomplished. She became a writer, a speaker. She's extraordinary. Her message is extraordinary. And that is how I feel about Cherie Doyen with me. Because I had so much different kinds of trauma that I just kept reality hopping out of my body. And that's how I dealt with it. I just kept, having visions and dreams and being all up in the brilliance without wanting to land in my body. And I've done a lot of work to be in my body. I have done a tremendous amount of work on myself in order to experience being in my body. But I had in my, in here, I had a huge space. I had a huge space, and it was empty. And now it's gradually filling up. It's gradually filling up. And I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative I'm so excited and enthusiastic. And I can even show you a video that I did yesterday right after I talked to Cherie and I did the exercises, and I did a video testimonial in my bed. Because in former times, what would happen to me, what I would experience when I had a post-traumatic stress event, like a shock to my system, is I would have to go to bed and I would not be able to function. I wouldn't be able to leave my house. And I'm up and I'm dressed here doing this video. I'm dressed in a really amazing, sexy outfit. And you can see my house, my environment that I'm living in is actually damaged because a tree fell on it on December the 23rd, 2023, and right now it's January the 17th, 2023. So Cherie's carried me through 4 or 5 recent traumatic events that have happened in my life and have not succeeded in taking me down as they would have before I started the program. So this is my testimonial in this moment to what is, this is quantum therapeutics is a university for women and men. And my intention is to master these skills and become a PhD in quantum therapeutics. That's my intention. That's my goal. And I'm on it and I'm pursuing it and I'm absolutely convinced that we can transform the world into the paradise that it's meant to be. Okay, well, if this moves or touches you in any way, shape, or form, you can reach out to me at info@shirleyguidancesystem.com and I will give you, my love and care and attention. And there's Cherie at quantumtherapeutics.com. Reach out to us and we will lovingly, lovingly invite you and enroll you in quantum therapeutics so that you can begin your own transformation, your own unique transformation. That's a promise.